All right. Wonderful. We're live. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition, and actually a special edition here of VC TV, as I'm joined with an awesome speaker for a fireside chat on a very important topic that we should all be concerned about and something we should all be paying attention to as well. But we'll get into that here in just a moment. First, a big thank you for you tuning in today. Audience, if this is your first time, make sure you click the subscribe button, share the episode, and also check out the archive on LATOKEN.com to hear from today's speakers and all speakers of the VC TV family. And if you yourself would like to be on a show like today's or others, please do reach out to the team and or myself, and we'll find that right spot for you. Also, a big thank you to the LATOKEN team and to Maria and Hasmik, who make VC TV possible every single day. And with that, I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott, but let's just jump right in and introduce our outstanding, again, guest for today. Vandana, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. A little introduction and background on yourself and what brings you here to VC TV today.
Yeah, hi. So thank you for having me here, and thank you, Maria and Kylie, for having me here on VCTV, and thanks to Carol as well. This is Vandana Tolani from India. I was in Singapore and Jakarta for 15 years in investment banking. I had my own family office fund there, and this is my 6th year back in India. I did some investments, then I went back to advisory. Currently, I'm connected with 200 investors globally. In terms of geography, we are global. Typically, we do a $1 million to $25 million deals, and we are sector agnostic. And I have been a regular speaker on VCTV since the month of October, and I think this is my 60th or 70th show. I'm not sure. I've not kept the count, but I've been a regular speaker here. But this is my first time at this hour. So nice to meet you, and thank you for having me here.
Oh, my apologies. Well, thank you for joining us. This is very exciting. Lots of questions already. And again, today's topic, I'll get to in just a moment. But again, audience, welcome. The comment section is open. Feel free to ask us any questions. I'll do my best to ask them in real time. If not, as always, we're available afterwards on all social media as well. But Vandana, you've got an outstanding history, and I want to dive into it all and learn a little bit more on how you got started. But just for the audience, today's topic is women in VC and the truth behind it. How they got into being in venture capital, what their career has looked like, and why it's important for others to come in and join them as well. And I say them and just in the term of today's title, but we're joined with Vandana, who's got a ton of experience. And talk to us a little bit about how you got into venture capital. I mean, first off, being in Indonesia, one of the hottest in terms of venture capital markets throughout Southeast Asia, outside of China, but starting to be rivaled. There are a ton of venture firms and family offices there. How did you even get started in such a competitive landscape of a region?
Well, I had done investment banking in India, and apparently I had got married there. So that's how I went into the family office of my family there. So that's how I reached there.
Wow. And then in terms of running a family office, I think sometimes that term gets thrown around, and we talk about it a lot here on VCTV, right? There's single family offices, there are multi-family offices, there's family offices. But what is a family office, if you could explain to our viewers so they get a little bit more understanding from your words and kind of your experience on it?
Well, family, see, there are VC funds, PE funds, there are angels and HNI. Similar to those, there are family offices. Family offices are, mostly the family members of a certain community develop a fund, and then they start investing in companies. they usually have many people from their own families, and they invest in small startups. So I think this is what I've understood of family offices so far. I have in my 15 years of journey. But now in family offices also, people are hiring from different backgrounds, and they are not just family oriented. Typically in family office funds, they put in their own funds, and they start their own fund venture. And in VCs and PEs, it's a bit different.
Mm-hmm. And so what is that difference, again, for our viewers? So with family offices, it's their own funds, but having also been in VC, what was the big difference that you noticed, and kind of what was the change between the two?
In VC funds, usually the funds are from most of the institutions, or most from, the other institutional funds make into a VC usually. And family offices are a little bit different in that manner. They are more smaller organizations.
Very, very interesting. And talk to us, if you can, a little bit about Jakarta's venture capital scene.
Yeah.
What was that like in Indonesia? And sometimes I feel like it doesn't get enough attention for how much is actually there.
Yes, it doesn't get much attention because, see, right now it's been my 6th year in India. And, why Jakarta doesn't get much attention is because it is, the government is very, the regulations there are very strong. It is ruled by the military over there most of the time. It's a Muslim country, and they don't give much opportunities to women. So they are very authoritative in the way they deal with, each and every aspect, including startups as well. Unlike Singapore, Singapore is much more developed in that manner.
Mm-hmm. And so when you were investing in Jakarta out of the family office, what was the typical investment that you were looking at? Maybe what was some of that process that you went through, again, running a family office, looking at investments?
Typically, we did deal size from $1 million to $5 million there. We were sector agnostic, but we didn't do real estate or liquor deals there. And, we invested in small startups. We looked at the background of the promoter. We also looked at the, the education, the revenue in the company, and these things would qualify.
And maybe how did that that diligence process change going from a family office into, from investment banking, pardon me, to family office into now, being an investor in general as a VC? How has that process changed in terms of the diligence you did with companies?
In the sense, I really didn't get your question here.
Sure. Yeah. So just to clarify, doing diligence on a company in a VC fund is usually very straightforward. There's a checklist, if you will. With family offices, sometimes, again, from what we've talked about here on VC TV, it's slightly different because the family may be a tie to it, right? You may be looking a little bit deeper at a company because it's specific to the family's interests and businesses, if you will. And then investment banking, you're going at a much more granular level financially than maybe the other two. So I was just curious if you saw differences in the diligence process when you were investing in companies in those different stages.
Typically what happens in a family office is that it is from within the network, and it's more relationship based. That deals are picked up. So the diligence process is not very intensive in that manner. But in terms of VCs, because it is more structured and, there is a lot more diversification in that, there is a deeper due diligence that is done because they pick up companies from different sectors altogether.
Got it. And so in terms of today's topic, I want
Mm-hmm.
to kind of switch gears. I mean, this is something we talked a little bit of offline about, and
Yeah.
you yourself being a woman in venture capital and really just investing in general. Talk to us a little bit about what that experience is like, and then we'll get into some other questions that I have as well. But what has that experience been like for you? Also being in these countries again, like Indonesia and India, so greater Asia and Southeast Asia as well. Maybe what was that experience like growing in your career throughout?
Well, it has not been, I mean, see, everybody hustles all throughout the way. I wouldn't say the journey was very easy all throughout, but it takes a lot of time and efforts and energy and a lot of hustling to reach the place where today I am. And typically the journey has not been so easy in terms of having a lot of male community around us, that we are not allowed to make decisions, and so many other factors that where we could have got the right support system, and and reached a certain level faster. I'm a bit slow in reaching that level. The reason being is because the support system which women look for, see, women work 10 times harder, but to reach the same place it takes them more time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the United States. Women make approximately 11% of investing partners at VC firms, and only around 13% of venture capital go to the startups with a woman founding team. So the 30-year average of all female founders share of VC funding is 2.4%, almost identical to the share in which was recorded in 2019, which is 2.3%. So where are we heading? We are not heading anywhere, because we don't have decision making teams as women. If you know, Sundar Pichai once said, a diverse mix of voices leads to better discussions, decisions, and outcomes for everyone. Sadly, even in the countries that are thought to be developed like US, the percentage of women in finance industry is less than a quarter. So you can only imagine how grave this issue is in the third world countries like India.
Mm-hmm.
And, in my opinion, bias within the VC industry is preventing the funds from being allocated to the best investment opportunities. In fact, according to a study in venture capitalists, only 7% of the people on decision-making teams are women. That having been said, if we want both better VC outcomes and more gender balance in entrepreneurship, we need to, root out the bias hampering ventures at the earlier stages. And not just gender bias, since there is evidence that, the bias does exist, whether it's for a particular gender or ethnicity, or, making the firms, successful overall. And, like I mentioned, even developed countries like America, the ratio is very less. It is believed that women are not business savvy. It is believed that, they have to run their homes, so they are not capable. But if they get the right kind of backing and support system and the right kind of opportunity, I think they can be better at, the roles that they are given.
Yeah, and so one question. Hi to all the commenters out there as well. You've got some fans, Vandana. So hi to everybody. But I mean, what can be done, or what should be done to change this? Because yes, it is a problem, and globally to add. We want to see more women in venture capital in all areas of investing, including family offices, private equity, syndicates, angels, etc. But what can be done from your viewpoint? What would you want to see, or what have you done to really help push this forward in some way to help increase those numbers globally?
Well, in my opinion, one of the best ways to bring in diversity in VCs is that VC firms should require their portfolio companies to commit to set and achieve diversity targets. They are uniquely positioned to encourage founders to address diversity and inclusion during the particularly crucial early stages of a startup, which will avoid the hard work of solving problems later. They can help by expanding their own recruiting networks to provide more diverse leadership candidates for their startups. Similarly, VC firms could employ coaches and mentors to help founders create open, empathetic, and inclusive cultures. Additionally, they should consider adding a scouting program for sourcing potential investments with diverse founders. Uh, Another helpful way is speaking up for the employees who may not be in a position to speak up for themselves. And to close these gaps, bank and investment firms need to put in place strategies to help identify innovative, high growth, female led companies and try to implement more inclusive policies to increase diversity in their portfolios. An example to consider is that of the European Investment Bank. They have set such policies in place to help identify innovative, high growth, female led companies and then provide advice, financing options, and assistance in making connections with other market players. What I'm seeing is that with a strong partnership between public and private investors, we can encourage VC and other sources of finance to adopt more gender balanced approach. Ensuring the access to finance for women-led enterprises ultimately creates jobs and contributes to our shared prosperity. Not only does empowering women make ethical and social sense, but it also happens to be good for business. I mean, you would see a lot more business scale up fast when you have women founders, women decision-making teams. So typically what I have done is I pick up a lot of women founders and help them get investments as well. I have a seven team of women in my in my company, and typically we I allow them to make decisions. I allow them to take a call when it's necessary. So these kind of empowerment things need to be given the right kind of support, the right kind of mentoring. I mean, have you seen, women at decision-making roles as investors? Even if they are, the decision is made by somebody behind their back, which is a male. So that all needs to change,
Right. And I think this is just to clarify. So this is something that needs to change globally. There's much more efforts that can be done around the world to do this. Just to clarify, only because we do have some outstanding women investors who are GPs, general partners, who run their own funds, who are associates, who are venture partners and the like at their funds. Who are, Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 or Fortune 10 CEOs and leaders and board members, et cetera. But just to clarify, this is something on a global scale we need to focus on, and you're absolutely right. And with that, I mean, in addition to what you do with individuals, what else can be done? We've had a wonderful speaker on here before, Wendy Diamond, who runs a huge organization, Nicole as well, who runs, I believe it's How Women Invest, a fund as well. I mean, we've got a number of these organizations continuing to enter into the space. Is there something like this that we need more of, or have you, stepped in and really built one of these for your local region as well? And it sounds like these are some more things we need to put forward.
Yeah, I have partnered with women incubators and accelerators in UAE and India. who specifically help women. And it is important that all organizations talk about diversity and inclusion and balance in the funding and founding teams within the startup ecosystem. And this interesting study was done by McKinsey in 2015 that investigated what the economic implications of achieving gender parity in India would be, and the resulting number amounted to over 2.5 trillion by 2025. I think that's a powerful, statistic. And TechCrunch studied the top 100 VCs globally and assessed them on bias of investments, longevity, fund size. They realized that only 38% of those firms had female investing partners. These are the top 100 firms. Now, if we extend the list to the top about, 2,300 VC and micro VC funds, only 8% of all the firms have full-time investing partner who's a woman. This disparity itself points out that there is a merit in having women on board. It is an indicating factor that having female investing partner might have been one of the contributing factors that led some of the firms to be in the top 100 VC firms globally. And this is just one statistic. I think there are enough indicators and studies done to highlight the financial upside of a gender balanced team, especially at the early stage. So, I think there are a couple of instances that has concerned me in a lot of Indian VC firms. There are women who, let's say, in the investor relation teams, there are enough women who are in the product team or the financing team, but I haven't seen women in the investing team because somehow it is believed that the women are, unable to manage, money. So I think that they need to clear that air out, that women are much capable of managing money and handling such high pressure work given the chance, and creating, we also, while it is great that there are women in the other functions in an organizations, that you are creating a good firm, but that can't act like a proxy for not having women partners on board. Am I right? I mean, it's incredibly important for women to have a seat at the decision-making table. I think a lot of firms would have to take a look at it and, let's say, their weekly meetings, see around the table, how many women do they actually have on the table besides the elite teams? So, diversity should mean that you are strengthening your board, you are strengthening the point of view that you are bringing into the team. The first thought about gender balance and creating a more inclusive culture has to be that it's creating something that you can be proud of, creating a more inclusive culture and bringing in more points of view on the table is only going to give you more opportunities to invest in scale and avoid some of the mistakes or blind spots that you wouldn't have seen if you had not put everything in perspective. So, have you come across yourself, I mean, if I may ask this question to you, any women investors who can solely make a decision on their own?
Yeah. Are you asking that to me or to the audience?
I'm asking to you as well as to the audience. I'm open to questions from the audience. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought that was a direct question to me, and my answer was yes. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to have some of those individuals that I know personally, here on VC TV as well, and they join us from various parts of the world. But I mean, to the audience, I think that's a good question. And Vandana, I'd like to also ask for women out there that are looking to get into venture capital. and we'll just keep that as the bucket, right? Whether it be family offices, it's angels, etc. What do you recommend, or where do you recommend they start on that journey, right? So if it doesn't matter where they are in the world, if they want to be in the venture capital industry, how do you recommend, or what advice do you have to them in doing so?
See, the first thing is they need to come out of their fears and self-doubts. We all have fears and self-doubts. The first thing is, they need to come out of that, and they need to believe in themselves that they are going to be able to do this, to take up this challenge. And they should reach out to the right kind of people, right kind of mentors, and get directions as to how they could get into this. There are a lot of VC firms that only support women, so one needs to find out those. And I have met women founders who actually come and discuss things with me, but they go back home and ask their husbands as to what decision to make. So I think they need to start making decision on their own. They need to start believing them in themselves. They need to come out of that fear and reach out to people. There are people everywhere. There are platforms like these, like LATOKEN and many other webinars that I give, where women can reach out. And not only that, women can reach out on LinkedIn to the prospective companies, and reach out on Facebook, on WhatsApp. I have met, female founders who have lost their confidence and forgotten to use a WhatsApp story or a Facebook story or a LinkedIn story. So these platforms, simple platforms, can help you reach out. Look at us. I mean, how LATOKEN has beautifully created connecting dots from all over the world. And especially, when I'm on Sunny Mohanty's shows, we are people from different backgrounds. We have, there are speakers from global countries where we speak on these topics, and we ask the audience to write the questions, to reach out to us via a medium of LinkedIn, social media, and we are all there to help. I mean, I've tied up, like I told you, I've tied up with 2 women incubators. One is in UA and one is in India, who are helping women, and they always are ready to come on calls, and they are always ready to help, and they are opening doors for everybody. So I think we need to reach out to, such places. And, they should believe that they can lift up economies. And they should, a lot of them feel held back by their families. Some of them are not allowed to work after marriage. This attitude needs to change. They sometimes they are put down by remarks like they are not business savvy, and they don't, people don't believe that females are capable of running a business. I typically, if you, I've had instances where people have commented and said things that, oh, is she capable? Or, they're giving more business to the other male investment bankers. So that kind of thing, needs to be provided, the right kind of education. Are they being provided the right kind of education? Are they being backed, in the right manner? Or are they being asked behind the back to, drop their education and do something else? So these kind of things that go behind the scenes need to change. Not only this, when my children were studying in Jakarta, I remember the principal would always emphasize that don't tell your girls that they cannot do maths. They are all capable of doing maths. So that was the culture that he was trying to create. it was believed that that girls cannot do maths or girls cannot do technology, and then this color color given to the girls as pink and the boys as blue, and then soccer is only a boys play. So these my daughter used to play a lot of soccer. I always allowed her to do that, because I feel that everybody should be able to do whatever they like. So there has to be no restriction in that manner, that, oh, you cannot do this, or this is a boys sport, or this is a girls sport. So this all we have created in our homes. We have limited ourselves. So we need to break these barriers. And once we break these barriers and we strongly believe in ourselves, we get backed up by the universe, we get backed up by everybody who is around us. So this is my thoughts on this. Yeah.
Interesting. So going full circle here, I mean, this is, again, we talk about this as a continued problem in the industry, and we know it is, as we see the stats and, we see the headlines. And it's outstanding that individuals like yourself are getting out there and also creating either organizations or help or the resources for women that are looking to enter into VC for their first time. And especially in these, transitional or transformative markets as well. Big question here. Now that we've seen the advice, we've got a little bit of your story. Where do we go from here? When we look 5 years into the future, what's your hope? What is your view as to how the world looks like when we look at venture capital and women involved? And again, just to clarify for the audience, I mean, we have some outstanding individuals like Vandana who has shared a lot about this. So I think this is a great question. Just looking at 2025, how do you view this industry from all that you've said today, and kind of getting out from the truth and showing a forward progression for the industry?
I see that, I'm hoping actually that it is going to be a more progressive world for women. They would be allowed to move freely. They would be allowed to do whatever they can and allowed to make decisions. They would be backed and supported in the right manner. And I would see as, male and females given equal opportunities and not having, any bias in that. So I look at it in a positive manner, of course. It is not that changes have not happened, but if you look at India and, you look at some of the developing countries, even if you say Jakarta for that matter, the change is still not there. I have seen males commenting on women driving. So if supposing, we see a wrong turn happening, and I have seen males commenting, oh, that must be a woman driving. So all these things, this mindset, the thought processes, and commenting on what they are doing and putting their confidence low in the work that they are doing. Instead of that, uplifting them, guiding them in the right manner, and helping them reach a certain level where they can actually be financially fully independent and making decisions and living a life similar to what a male is living. So I think we need to create that kind of society where everybody is free, everybody is treated equally, whether it's a male or a female, and equal opportunities given. The mindset has to change. Typically not thinking that this is a male's job. Males should be helping at household work as well. And if there is a family that has babies, the male should actually equally support in taking care of the babies. So I think that should be, that kind of environment I see. And say, for instance, companies do allow women to work after delivering, maybe they could be allowed to carry their babies to work and have a baby room there. I'm not sure if this will work out or no, but this might help a lot, because that way they can work and even look after their babies, like how we have been doing now. When COVID hit us, we were working from home and looking after the children as well. So I think I see that kind of inclusion in 2025. I see more women making decisions. I see more women funds coming up by then, and hopefully, equal opportunities created all around the world. Women not feeling fearful to, go and meet somebody at night, and, having that kind of freedom. That okay, everything's going to work well. So that is the kind of society that needs to be created, and it all begins from home. What we are training our children to become is what they are seeing. We are role models as parents for them. So I think we need to change in all our thinking, become more progressive, and I think that would really help.
Agreed, and looking towards that, exciting future in 2025, and hopefully much sooner than that. And there are a number of outstanding funds that have been created, again, globally, and looking forward to seeing how those continue to progress as well. So Vandana, as we come to wrap here, any closing thoughts in addition to those that are looking to get into venture capital, and then where can everyone find you online to continue the conversation as well?
I wanted to say a few more things before that the key to success is diversity. Chances are that any company's customer base is, if it is, gender diverse, women make about 75% of consumer purchasing decisions, and about 40% of the employees who make enterprise purchasing decisions are women. Companies that can see the world through their customers' eyes and build the right product for them are more likely to succeed and have a leadership team that is reflective of the background of the customers is a powerful mechanism to ensure good decisions. So, I would just want to recommend a good book to all the audience here. And that is, please do read this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and clear your doubts and come out of your fears. And to all the women out there, start taking challenging and pressure roles on decision-making team. And to all the people, all the males out there that support these women and help them come on the decision-making team for better outcomes, and create equal opportunities, and change the mindset that they are not business savvy, or change the mindset that they are not capable of, doing a certain task that is given to them, or manage a fund, and give them more decision-making roles. So, and see how they are able to take that up. I think that will really help. And, I would really recommend more and more women to take up roles in the investment fields and come as speakers. Even when today, for the past few months, I've been coming on VCTV, on LATOKEN VCTV. There are times that, there are lots of speakers, but I am the only female there at many times. I do see that. And I see very few women who come out as speakers. And I know for sure Carol has written a book. So, so I think we need to create more opportunities here, and give more opportunities to the women to come out and make better decisions and do these decision-making roles. Let them have these challenges and pressure taking, but they need to have the right kind of environment for that. Maybe they can have a team that is taking care of their mental health. There can be a team that is mentoring them continuously. There can be a team that is helping them, manage the whole thing. So I think that kind of groupthink and conformity can help to develop more successful teams all around the world,
Thank you very much, Vandana. Where can everyone find you as well to continue the conversation if they're looking to connect or reach out and discuss further?
Yes, I'm available on LinkedIn. My company name is Convanto, www.convanto.com. People can reach me out over there. I'm available on LinkedIn, Facebook. Convanto is almost everywhere. If you Google my name also, you'll find a lot about me. So please feel free to reach out to me, and to everyone who's hearing me out there. Get the women out of the houses, let them make decisions, let them be financially independent, give them that chance to bring out their talent, and help them in all manners, so that they can be as equal as the men, and they can get the feel of the success, and have that feeling that, oh, they are doing something right here.
Thank you, Vandana. And to our audience, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you heard, make sure you click subscribe, share the episode. Also, check out the archive on LATOKEN.com to hear from all of our speakers of the VCT family, even Vandana as well. If you'd like to be on a show like today, please do reach out to the team and or myself. We'll find that right spot for you. Also, a big thank you to the LATOKEN team, to Maria and Hasmik, who make VCTV possible every single day. With that, I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. You can find me everywhere online at Kyle Ellicott, along with Vandana on all social media platforms. We'll be taking a quick break here on VCTV and be back for more talking about fintech and tokenization here in just a moment. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.